welcome back to my channel. This is Caitlin from Caitlin Plans, and today I'm mixing it up a little bit and doing a video that has been requested by a couple people over here on YouTube, which is like a question and answer video. So to help me out with that, I asked you over on my community tab as well as on Instagram in my stories what questions you had for me. They could be planner related, they didn't have to be planner related, but just like questions, and I'm gonna do my best to answer them all today. And I have my list of them written out right here. I will do my best to shout people out who asked the questions, and I'm gonna try my best with like pronunciation of names and Instagram handles and all that fun stuff. But conveniently, I got 22 questions. So this video, 22 questions before 2022. I didn't have to like cut any questions to make that happen. That's just how it worked out. And it doesn't have the same ring as 21 questions or 23 questions, so everything works out. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go through these questions. So the first question that I have is from Dorothy. How do you keep track of everything with the various planners you use? So I'm using quite a few planners, and I know some people who only use like one planner or two planners, and you know, it's kind of whatever works out for you. I have a pretty hectic life, and I find that I need to kind of compartmentalize when I'm working with different planners. So I have my catch-all, which is kind of like my overall schedule. So I do like events and stuff in there. Sometimes I get a little bit into checklists in there, but my daily planner is more so for things that need to be done on like a daily basis. So there's kind of like a temporal breakdown there, like weekly versus daily versus monthly, all those things. But when you're setting up your planners and kind of deciding like, do I need multiple planners? Do I need to Frankenplan stuff? The best tip I can give you is to kind of break down your life into different areas of what might need to be planned out, and then think about it like time-wise, about like how long it would actually take you to like plan that thing out. So I mentioned this in a different video of mine. So like I don't have a home planner because I live in a fairly small apartment, so making spreads and then planning everything out that needs to be taken care of in my home takes longer than actually just like doing the things that need to be done in my home. But that's personal to me. So someone who's like a stay-at-home mom or like does like housework all day, a home planner might be a necessity for you. So really breaking your own life down into like what areas need to be planned, and then kind of dividing that out into planners. And you always want to start small when you're planning with multiple planners. Like I recommend starting with one planner, and then if you feel like you can't fit everything into there, or you might benefit from having like a planner that you keep in a different place. So like if you work at an office and you want to have like a work planner that you keep there, then you would need two planners, obviously. So kind of like breaking it down, but I personally have it divided out into like a catch-all, an academic planner because I'm a grad student. I have a social media planner, which I do like all of my Instagram and YouTube stuff with. I have an Etsy planner where I do like all my small business stuff. And then I have a daily planner that I use just to like keep me on track during the day, because I find it really easy to like write everything down and then get started on things instead of like kind of thinking about them throughout the day. So making a plan for the day is something that like works out for me, but a daily planner isn't a necessity for everyone. So I think that's good on that question. I'm really hoping that I'm answering everyone's questions in full and that you don't have subsequent questions, but you didn't answer that fully, but I think that was a good rounded out answer. April asks, how do you decide which stickers to make for my Etsy shop? So my starting place, my like jumping off place, is kind of looking at one of those lists of like fun holidays that are in that month, and really thinking about like what I want to plan with in my own planner. So like February obviously is like Valentine's Day, so I did a lot of Valentine's Day stuff, and I'm planning a month ahead with that because like as a small business I want to get like the stickers shipped out in time. So the January release is like February designs, and then the February release will be March designs, and so on and so forth. So I'm planning a month ahead with that. I'm thinking about like stickers that I'd like to plan with, and I'm also thinking about stickers that I haven't seen other shops make. And like really thinking about like what things that I'd like to see in my own planner that I haven't been able to find elsewhere. So that comes up with like the weirdest concepts, like pigeon stickers, which I wanted to plan with pigeon stickers, so I made pigeon stickers. But I'm not seeing a lot of other people plan with or like create those stickers. So that's kind of like my jumping off point for that. I also have a rep team for my sticker shop, so asking them like, is there anything that you absolutely have to have for February? And that's a good source of ideas. Sometimes I'll like post on my Instagram stories, or someone will like send me a DM like, hey, my birthday's coming up in March. Could you make some birthday stickers for me? And I'll be like, yeah, I don't have any birthday stickers. I'll make some birthday stickers. So that's kind of where the inspiration comes from. I also do a lot of scrolling on Pinterest, which definitely helps spark the creativity. I don't want to ever like copy someone else's artwork, but like it's a good place to kind of get ideas for like, oh, those colors go really well together. I'll probably like use a similar color palette, or oh, I like how they kind of like arranged those like teapots. So kind of getting those ideas in my head before I like do some sketches and like really figure out what I'm doing. The next question I have is from Hey Sister, and she asks, what are you studying and future aspirations for after graduation? So I am currently working on a PhD in art history. I'm kind of stuck in between like a master's and a PhD just because of like a thesis deposit date that I keep missing, but I'm doing the coursework for the PhD right now. So it's art history, and more specifically, because you have to pick like a very specific niche when you're in grad school, I'm doing contemporary feminist craft. And it's a lot of embroidery. I work with a lot of embroidery or just like other needle crafts. Haven't found a way to work my planners into like the art history realm, but I work with crafts and I really enjoy that quite a bit. I typically work in like the 1970s to present, and it is a very niche field, but I've kind of expanded out into like doing some stuff that works like with photography, or like some stuff with painting. Like there's a lot of overlap in that realm, so that's kind of what I'm studying. And after graduation, and that's the ultimate question, I have a bit of time before I graduate because a PhD takes a while, and I have been in school since preschool. I have like not stopped doing school since then. Like in some ways the momentum is in my favor, but in some ways I just like don't know what I'm gonna do after graduation. So I'm like, okay, another degree. In an ideal world, I'd like to teach at a college level, but that's a fairly saturated market. So other ideas of things that I'd like to do involve like museum work. I do have a degree from undergrad in museum studies, so that could be something that I would do. I really do like education, so I'd be open to like teaching at like a high school level or like a community college or anything like that. But teaching is what I would like to do in the long run. But at the same time, I also really like doing like my creative stuff, so like my stickers and my Etsy shop and stuff like that. So that's kind of like where I'm at, but I'm just going to classes and trying to balance everything else on the side right now. The next question is from Riley. Why did you start planning? Did you start out with the Happy Planner or something else? So I would say that my first like creative planner, like a planner that I put stickers in, was actually like a Lilly Pulitzer agenda that I had in high school. And I wasn't making like full-on spreads. I was just like, oh, a sticker there, a sticker there. And it started to become like sticker overload in there. And then in college, one of my sorority sisters got an Erin Condren planner, and I saw it and I was obsessed. I'm like, I want that. I want to get an Erin Condren planner. So I ordered one, and it was one of those things where I was like checking the shipping status every single day. And at that point, I was like, I'm just going to make my own stickers. I don't know where to buy stickers. And I would say this was probably around 2012. So I didn't know where to buy like planner stickers from. So I was like doing my own drawings or like printing out images I found on the internet on like sticker paper and then hand cutting them with scissors. So my very first like full-blown creative planner was an Erin Condren planner, the Erin Condren Life Planner. And I think I went through about three years of those. I made it through like, oh gosh, no, it wasn't 2012. It was like 2015. So I went through like 3 years of those. So that brought me to like 2018. And then around 2018, I got my first Happy Planner because I was shopping at Walmart in the middle of the night trying to get stuff for sorority recruitment. We had to like get snacks for an event or something. And I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's a really cute planner, but I already have a planner. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna have 2 planners, just so I can decorate one of them. So I got this happy planner from Walmart. It was like a geode pattern, and I didn't know that the happy planner kind of branched beyond like what I saw on the shelf at Walmart that day, but I started with that one, and then I was hooked, and I was like, okay, I really like the fact that I can just like go to the store and buy one of these versus the Erin Condren where you have to like custom order it and it takes like a few weeks to ship. So I got my first happy planner, and then I was like, okay, more happy planners from here. So that's kind of like the development of that obsession. And then in recent years, I've kind of gotten into plum paper planners, which we're going back because like that also takes processing time and it defeats that purpose of like being able to like go to the store and buy them. But I like some of the layouts that plum paper has that the happy planner doesn't offer. Another big selling factor on the happy planner for me was being able to like go to Michael's or whatever and purchase the stickers there, because you couldn't do that with Erin Condren. And I'm sure you can do that like at some places now with the Erin Condren planners. I think Target carries them. But at the time in like 2018, it was like Happy Planner was the most accessible sticker books. So that's kind of why I made that switch over there. And then why did I start planning? I've always kind of been someone who planned, even from those like cheap planners that they give you in elementary school. I would always like really like getting those at the beginning of the school year. It didn't start until like maybe high school or college where I knew that I really needed a planner to get like everything kind of mapped out. I'm someone who tends to overbook themselves, and like even in college and high school I was working like multiple jobs on top of school, and I had like extracurricular activities and like social commitments and stuff like that. And in college when I was in a sorority, I was holding like leadership positions, so I needed to like mark down meetings and like events for that. So I wouldn't be able to remember everything on my own, so a planner was a must-have for me. The next question I have is from Michelle. What's your favorite color and why? I would have to say my favorite color is pink. And it took me so long to come to like admitting that my favorite color was pink because it always felt like so like juvenile in a sense, but it's just a color. So pink has always been my favorite color, but I used to tell people it was purple because like that felt more grown up. But no, I love pink. I just love pink. And I don't exactly know why. I feel like the varieties of pink that are out there, like the different shades, like your salmons and your mauves and your blushes and all that, like I haven't met a shade of pink that I don't like. And I can't say that about every single color. Like there's some shades of like yellow or green that are like, oh, I don't like that one. But pink, I like all shades of pink. Like even like hot pink to really dark pink, I just like pink. And it makes me happy. So your favorite color should make you happy. And that was a pretty quick answer, but I think I covered everything with that one. Kim asks, what other types of pages do you come up with for your planners? I have never been one who makes like a lot of insert pages, and I've been trying to get into that a little bit more. So I do try to start off the year with like goal pages. So like in my social media planner, I have like all of my different areas of social media kind of booked out, and like then the goals that I've set for those. I have like an overall 2022 goals. And then I've been trying to make some more things for like my social media planner because like just the planner alone doesn't have like the exact pages I need. So I recently made one to track like YouTube revenue. I made one for like all the collab videos I'm going to be doing in 2022 because one of my goals is to do a collab a month for 2022. So I've started with like those major goals, and then I've broken them down into like smaller like inserts themselves. I think the next insert I'm going to make for my planner, because one of my major goals in 2022 is to save up enough money to go wild in 2023. So I'd like to make some kind of like tracker where I can like set aside money for that, and then like, I don't know, like have it blocked out so like I can fill in like a bubble for each $10 I save or something like that. So that's probably what I'm going to do next. But I also have a few like vision boards. I've tried doing bucket lists in my planner, but I never end up filling them out. Like I like the idea of a bucket list, but I never like end up doing them in practice. So that's kind of what I've got for like inserts for my planners. The next question is from Gabriella. What made you start doing YouTube? How do you deal with the trolls / internet people / people you know? I think that's what she meant to say. So I started doing YouTube at the beginning of this whole pandemic because school had just gone online. I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, I was kind of like locked in the apartment all day, and I'm like, you know, I'm already doing all this planner stuff, and I've seen like so many people like start YouTube channels, and this was like 2.5 years ago or something like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy a ring light on Amazon. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision, but I got it, and I'm like, I'm gonna start doing videos. I want to like be able to share like what I'm making. I would in some ways like to like watch this back and like kind of track my progress. So it was more of like pandemic boredom that started it, and then I ended up really loving it. I was hesitant to start a YouTube channel just because I have a little bit of like a lisp. It's gotten better over time, and I think the YouTube channel has actually helped with that, like being able to hear my own voice back. But I was always like afraid of hearing my own voice. Like public speaking freaked me out. I did not like the sound of my own voice, but YouTube has kind of helped me like come to terms with that, and that's like one of the things that I've really like learned from having a YouTube channel. And then the second part of this question is, how do I deal with like internet trolls slash people I know? I don't actually have to deal with a lot of trolls on here, surprisingly, and I really do like appreciate that. The biggest and best thing you can do if you're starting out on like YouTube or something like that is setting a page of like, there's in the settings, you can like set words that if they appear in a comment, YouTube will automatically like remove them from your videos. So I just looked online and I was like, I searched for like a page of words that would like essentially indicate that a comment was not like a serious comment, like slurs and like stuff like that. So you mark those in YouTube and then it just automatically removes them, so you don't even have to see them. So I started with that, and then you can also set like YouTube as an option to like not post comments from people who like include links in their comments, which was another one for helping remove a lot of like the really spammy comments, like where they're trying to get you to go to like a spam site. So I set that as another setting, so that kind of helps with like the trolls. On Instagram, like I've gotten like some negative comments over on Instagram. TikTok is another platform that kind of like will get you a lot of negative comments like, I don't even understand why you're doing this, it looks ugly. Like, okay, it's not your planner, you don't need to like give your aesthetic stamp of approval here. But the block button, like I really like, in real life, you know, you can't block people, but on the internet where people feel like entitled to share negative thoughts and it's like getting into your head, I just block them. And there's no shame in that. That's kind of how I deal with it. People that I know in real life, I think that's a part of the question. Not a whole lot of like people I know in real life follow me over here on Instagram. I have like a separate personal Instagram or whatever, but I do have like some friends who follow me, who are like really like enthusiastic about the planners, and I like to keep them around. I have a couple family members who follow me over here, and that's never been like an issue. Like, as long as you're being authentic to yourself and you're sharing content that makes you happy, like I don't see why having people from real life like following you would be an issue. Even my advisor in grad school, she follows me on Instagram. I don't know how active she is, but she follows me on Instagram, and I have nothing to hide. Like, this is what I do in my free time. It's not impacting my job in any way. So like, I will let people from my real life follow me, I guess. The next question is from Scrapbook Queen 6. Where do you get your daily sheets that fit in the Happy Planner? So they're not actually Happy Planner daily sheets. Happy Planner does make a daily planner, but I use plum paper and I just punch them with the Happy Planner punch to make them fit. I like their daily pages a lot, and I like the customization options that they have. So again, they're plum paper daily pages. The next question is from Priya. What is your go-to sticker book when you feel in a planner rut? So I kind of rotate around like what my favorite sticker book of the moment is. I try to keep like all the newer ones in a specific box so I can like look at those right away. When I'm in a planner rut, I honestly find that the best way to kind of combat that is to just randomly pull one from the stash. And even going back to like older sticker books that I haven't touched in a while. And if it's not like a Happy Planner sticker book, I have all of these albums of small shop stickers that I can just kind of flip through and be like, oh, this is really cute. I like this idea. And in addition to like this whole like planner rut thing, I really try to get as many spreads done when I have the inspiration. So like if I buy a new sticker book and I'm like, oh, it goes really well with this scrapbook paper, sometimes it's easiest for me to like put them together in a pile or even just like make the spread right then and there instead of waiting for the next week. So that's like kind of what I do with a planner rut. If I had to pick one sticker book that would get me out of a planner rut, I would have to say florals, like any kind of florals. I think like florals are just like a nice sticker. They make everything look beautiful. I'll pair them with some colorful boxes, and then from there, I'll like pull out a color that I like, and then I'll put some like full boxes in for like different sticker books, but florals are something that typically get me like ready to plan. The next question is from Allie, who is planning with boys over on Instagram. What brands of planner have you tried using? So Happy Planner, Plum Paper Planner, Erin Condren, Day Designer, Lily Pulitzer Agendas. I have one of those Bando planners. I have, oh gosh. I feel like I'm missing some, but I've tried like a lot of like smaller brands too. I like kind of branching out. Oh, I have a Paper Source one. I like trying a lot of different planners and kind of seeing what works out for me. I tend to gravitate back towards the same kind of layouts, but I do like trying different planners. I think the next one that I want to try, and I know it's not a planner, is the Archer and Olive one, like their bullet journals. I'm kind of interested in like bullet journaling, even though I don't think I'm going to be any good at it, but that's what I've tried planner-wise. Next up is Celeste from I'm Planning on It on Instagram. How did you come to the decision to make your own stickers? So I actually have an art degree. Like that's what I started my undergrad career doing, like art, and I was a painter for the longest time, and I knew I wanted to create something, but my parents and like everyone else was obviously like, being an artist is a risky business move, like a risky career move. So I ended up like going the art history route, and I couldn't like do a double major in art history and studio art just because of the way it worked at my college, but I love doing art and I wanted to like be able to like incorporate my own drawings into my own planner. So it started more as like a personal venture. I already had like my Cricut and stuff from like other things. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make some stickers for myself. I got an iPad for like taking notes for my classes, and I'm like, I can use Procreate on this. This will be great. So it started as more of a personal venture, and then I shared with a few friends and they're like, you really should be selling these. Like, I'd like to have these in my own planner. So that's where everything started, and I've just had like such great inspiration from friends who have sticker shops that have kind of like pushed me to like start my own. Next up, we have Georgina, and I am so sorry if I pronounce your Instagram handle wrong, living with arthrogryposis? Sorry. What advice would you offer to someone that is interested in opening an Etsy sticker shop? So the first like piece of advice that I would have, and I actually think I'm going to have a video later on next month about like Etsy sticker shop tips, but to like give some more general advice, the first thing would be like really defining like what your niche is going to be. Are you going to be making like functional stickers or decorative stickers? Are you going to be making like a lot of like florals or like animal stickers, or do you want to do both? So like really defining what your design niche is and like your own personal design style. And then the supplies are another thing. Like you want to make sure that you have all your bases covered like supplies wise. So a cutting machine, unless you're doing like digital downloads. Etsy is pretty good for like doing digital download stuff. I use Cricut machines just because they work the best for me, but I've heard some pretty good things about like the Silhouette, the Cameo machines or whatnot. So getting your supplies in order, like there's a surprising amount of like materials that go into making stickers. So like you have your paper, and you could either do like paper, or you could do like clear paper, and like obviously those should both be like sticker paper. You want to get like the mats for your Cricut machine, and like a paper cutter to kind of get the sheets cut out and stuff like that. But I'll be doing another video on this eventually, but social media is also a good way to get your name out, and I feel like most of my sticker shop success has been from having like an established social media presence over here on YouTube and then on my Instagram account. So don't be afraid to like be your own like hype man. Like share your products, like share your stickers, share your designs. Like people will be excited about them if you're excited about them. So that's kind of what I have like advice-wise for that. The next question is from Lisa Marie. What inspired you to create your YouTube channel? So this is similar to one that we had earlier, but again, like quarantine boredness. It was like the peak of the pandemic and I could only play so much Animal Crossing. I think I hit like 400 hours on my Nintendo Switch of Animal Crossing and I'm like, I need to be doing something a little bit more productive. I will say, like, for people who are interested in starting a YouTube channel, you don't start a YouTube channel looking to make money. And you won't make money for a while. I think it took me like a year and a half or closer to 2 years to get monetized over here. It doesn't happen overnight. So if you're someone who like starts a YouTube channel looking to make money, you're gonna get really frustrated really quickly. So it should be something that you love doing and should be videos that you're interested in watching yourself and also provide some kind of value, because like when I'm watching like a YouTube video and it's like not of value to me, and what I mean by that is like I'm not learning something by it or I'm not entertained by it, it's just someone who's making a YouTube video to make a YouTube video to like hear themselves talk, that's a video I'll turn off. So make sure you're like providing something in your YouTube videos that is entertaining and that you would want to watch yourself. So that is that question. Flipping over the page. The next question I have is from Juju Happy Plans over on Instagram. What equipment do you use for your videos, camera, lights, and editing? So for my camera, I just use my iPhone. I have an iPhone 12, I want to say, or maybe an 11. But it's one of the newer iPhones and it does a good job for like all the filming needs that I have. The iPhone cameras are pretty great. They've made leaps and bounds since I had my very first iPhone back in like high school. I've been looking to kind of improve the audio quality on the iPhone because I do have to like manually adjust like the sound up to make myself louder when I'm doing the editing stuff. So I've been kind of looking into like getting like an external microphone or something, but for filming, I've just been using an iPhone. For editing, I use iMovie on my iPad, and it is a free app that comes with like Apple devices. So if you have like a MacBook Pro or an iPad or even an iPhone, you can use iMovie. So I use that for all of my editing needs. And then as for lighting, I'm using a ring light. I believe this one is like a 14-inch ring light. I started with like a 12-inch ring light, like a really cheap one, and it worked out really well for a long time. And then I upgraded to the one that Mary Ellen has from Planning with Bumble. And then I also have like 2 lights that go on the sides of most of my videos to kind of give some like more ambient lighting. I will turn on all of the lights in the room that I'm sitting in, so like the ceiling light and all the lamps and whatnot, to try to get it as light as possible. But I'll leave links to everything down below if you're interested in like kind of seeing what I'm using like lighting wise. I don't think the lighting in my videos is like the best of the best, or like having watched a lot of Plan With Me's in my free time, I don't think I have the best lighting out there, and it's always something that I'm looking to improve, but it's kind of difficult. So I'll give you what I'm using as a starting place down in the description, but I know like some of the more well-established YouTubers like Mary Ellen from Planning with Bumble or like Heather Kell, they also have like their lighting recommendations in like their Amazon shops or whatnot. So that's a good place to start if you're looking for lighting, but I would say I have the more budget-friendly option. The next question comes from Shivani. What are your 2022 goals for your shop? And I discussed this a little bit in my goal setting video for like my social media planning, but I would say that the 2 like big things that I have like for my shop are, 1, getting my own website up and running, and that's something I've been working on. I'm not a web designer, I'm not a graphic designer, but I've been like trying to do like my own website and trying to get that up and running for the January sticker release. So that's my one big thing, and kind of tied to that is like a little bit of a rebrand to like my logo and like web elements and stuff like that. So that's like my first goal. And then the second goal I have is to start offering some new products in my shop. So I've always wanted to do like a notepad, like a daily notepad or something like that, as well as like a washi tape. So that's another big goal that I have for my Etsy shop. Other than that, I'm just kind of like trying to make new sticker sheets and designs, and I love having a rep team for my Etsy shop, so I think that's something that's going to continue through 2022. I don't think I'm going to like divide out like my Caitlin Plans Instagram from like my shop Instagram. I think I'm going to keep those tied together for now. But that's like my big goal for 2022 is offering new products and also kind of establishing a more branded web presence beyond like an Etsy page. The next question I have is also from Shivani, and she asks, what do you do when you're feeling or when you're planning but not feeling very inspired? And there are a lot of times where I don't feel very inspired, but like there are certain things that'll kind of spark inspiration for me. Scrapbook paper is one of them because it's like a lot of fun patterns. I love looking at like the new Happy Planner sticker books or even like my small shop albums. Or like I'll ask like a friend like, what should my theme be this week? Like give me a word. And then from that, like even my boyfriend will like suggest things where I'm like, give me a word to start planning with, and he'll be like outer space. And I'll like kind of think about that and like, how do I make like outer space happen in my planner without like being like explicitly outer space related? Or sometimes I love like doing challenges, like planner challenges where it's like you can only use one sticker book, or you can only use like stickers that have words on them, like stuff like that. Like random challenges is another way to kind of like get yourself out of a planner rut. So highly recommend those. The next question I have is from my planner bestie M, who of course asks, who are your planner besties? And I would have to say, like, I don't want to like name names of like who I'm friends with and who I'm like not friends with, because I try to like be friends with everyone in this community, but the people that I talk to on a more regular basis would have to just be like M. I have a lot of friends over in the Planners of Higher Ed Facebook group, so if you're a planner who's involved in higher ed, join us over on Facebook. But yeah, I do my best to like respond to like everyone's DMs. Like if you message me, I try to like talk like and respond to you. But yeah, that M is probably my closest planner friend, just because we're both like grad students, or she has since graduated from her PhD program, but we get along. So planner friends. Next question is coming from Terry. I just purchased my first Happy Planner and the stickers seem to be a bit pricey. What's a budget-friendly option? So you can actually find like fairly cheap planner stickers at a variety of places. Sometimes I find them in like the Target dollar section for like $1 or $3 for like a book of them. The dollar store also has some stickers sometimes. I know Five Below carries stickers, and it's really about like getting creative with them. Like obviously some stickers are like things that aren't useful to have in a planner, like they're too big or they're like puffy stickers so they don't work well on the pages. But it's kind of about like seeing the vision when you're shopping for stickers and like deciding, okay, this would work in my planner, this wouldn't work in my planner. I like the Happy Planner stickers personally because you get a lot of them in a book. So let's see, I have one right here. This one comes with 606 stickers. So to kind of like count that out over the $20 price tag, or is it's $22 now. So to kind of count that out over the price tag and think about like how much that costs per sticker. But also, I never buy stickers for full price. Like, full disclosure, I don't buy stickers full price. And the best places to be looking for like Happy Planner sticker books are Joann's and Michael's, because you can typically get them for like 40% off. And that makes them a little bit more budget friendly. So instead of like $22 for 600 stickers, it's only like $14 for 600 stickers. And you get a lot of use out of them. I wouldn't recommend, like, if you're looking for budget friendly options, like starting with a bunch of like very specific Happy Planner sticker books, like something like this one that is Merry and Bright. Like you could only really use that for like December because it's like a Christmassy themed book. So thinking about things that you could use all year long, and then thinking about things that like layer really well. So I like some of the monochrome books that they've been putting out lately. So like Indigo or Bold and Blush, those are really great books that are super versatile. You can pair them with a lot of things. You can layer them. They're a good combination of decorative and functional. So really thinking about like what spreads you can make out of sticker books. Etsy is another place where you can get stickers, and like I say that because I am someone who has an Etsy shop, but cost efficiency wise, you're not getting as many stickers for like the same price as if you were to get like a Happy Planner sticker book. My sticker sheets are like $4 a sheet, and that's pretty normal for most of the like small shops that I know. But that means you're getting like what, 5 sticker sheets for the price of like a Happy Planner book. So while you are paying for like someone's like craftsmanship or like supporting a small business. If you're someone who is very limited on like planner stickers, like you're getting a lot more in a Happy Planner book. But I do recommend shopping small if you have the means to do so, because you are like supporting like individual people rather than a corporation. So sticker wise, that's kind of like what I have. But you'll find stickers in the weirdest places. Like Target has them pop up in the dollar section a lot, and I always try to like get my hands on those when I can. And then another thing that I should mention, Michaels has their own brand of planner stickers. They're just like the recollection sticker books, and I want to say they're like $7 to $10 a book, so about half the price of a Happy Planner book. And while the quality I don't think is as like great, they are like decent planner stickers. So checking there, and then also taking advantage of like those sales and coupons. Rewards programs will be your best friend when you're shopping for stickers. The next question that I have, and this is kind of a two-parter from Kelly. So what is your favorite layout from the Happy Planner and why? So my favorite layout from them is probably the big vertical. That's where I find the most functionality. In my catch-all, I like decorating that one the most, because I have like the room to like put a lot of big stickers in there and like play around with different layouts. So the big vertical is probably my favorite for like planning. And then my least favorite layout from the Happy Planner, and I'm counting these as two separate questions. So my least favorite layout and why, I would say like, and this has to be from the Happy Planner. Yeah, it does. Okay. Probably the horizontal. I just never know what to do with all of those lines. Like I feel like I should be like journaling or writing stuff out, and that's not how my mind works. My mind kind of works in like a vertical column rather than like a horizontal block. So vertical is my favorite, horizontal is my least favorite from the Happy Planner. Next question is from Sid Plans It Out. What made you decide on your major and continue into grad school? So I actually changed my major quite a few times in undergrad. So when I was applying to colleges, I knew I wanted to be like an artist. I wanted to be in like something creative and do like art. So my parents were like, you probably shouldn't like apply with like a studio art major. Like that's not like a great career move, which not a lot of artists make it out there. So I understood that decision. I applied as an art education major, and I made it about half a semester as an art education major right off the bat. And I was going to like a private liberal arts college, so we were able to like start like with classes in our major right away. I came in with a lot of AP credits, so I was able to like really jump into my major that first semester. So one of the perks of like going to a liberal arts college is being able to like get right into your major instead of like doing gen ed stuff and figuring out if that's like the major for you. I took like one education class. It was like educational psychology or something like that. And art education is a K through 12 degree, so you could be teaching anywhere from kindergarten to high school, but you had to like be trained in all grades. And I'm not good with like small children. So I was taking these education classes that were geared towards like elementary ed majors, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do this. Like I had to be like interviewing children, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do this. So I dropped my art education major. I was also a museum studies major at that point, and it was heritage and museum studies, and I kept that one all through undergrad. So from art education, I switched to studio art because I'm like, okay, I want to be a studio artist. Like that's the reason I picked this education major. I want to make art. So I did my studio art major, and then I took like an art history class because it was a requirement for my studio art major, and I'm like, oh wait, I really enjoyed this. So I'm like, okay, what if I'm a studio art and art history double major? Except my college wouldn't let me do that because they were like two branches off of the same major, so you couldn't have the same major twice. So I had to decide, and I was like, okay, going back to this idea of like what might be a better career outcome in the long run, I'll go with art history. So I picked that, and I was still doing art classes on the side. So by the time I graduated undergrad, and this is like cycling through a couple like minors as well. So I had a minor in women and gender studies, a minor in German. I forget what the last minor I had was. I think it was history for a little bit, but that one didn't stick. So I graduated college with a double major in pre-professional art history and heritage and museum studies, and then a minor in women and gender studies, and I was a class short of getting a German minor, but I didn't want to stick around for that. So that's where I ended up graduating from undergrad. It was a lot, but AP credits were my friend. They allowed me to like get ahead and like really get right into my coursework. And why did I continue into grad school? So that's kind of like a two-parter. Like I know like kind of like, oh God, someone's outside with their car. So back in those early days of like being an education major, I knew I wanted to teach, but I didn't want to teach like at an elementary school level. So I was like, okay, the next best thing is like, I want to teach college. So, but to do that, you have to have like grad degrees. So that was one reason why I wanted to continue into grad school. So like the ability to like teach at a college level, but also like, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm pretty good at school, and like that's nothing to do with like intelligence. Like there are some people who are good at school and there are some people who aren't good at school. It's kind of like how well you can fit into this institution. Like school isn't like an indicator of intelligence, and I would argue that until the day I die, but I'm pretty good at like going to classes. I like going to classes, I like learning new things. So I was like, okay, I could do this for a little bit longer until I like really like am able to like do what I want to do, having those degrees. So I started grad school and I have not stopped since. So that's kind of where I'm at with like the grad school thing. I enjoy grad school, but I don't think it's for everyone. And I don't think it's necessary for everyone either. And then the last question that I have is from Jax Makes a Plan. How is your setup for YouTube videos? And I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I have one big ring light that holds my phone, so I'm not using like a separate phone clamp or anything. I just have it like in the ring light, and then I'll like flip the ring light flat so it's like overlooking a table, and then I'll have my two like side lights on the sides of like the table that I'm planning on. I don't plan on a desk, just because I haven't gotten like the heights of the filming equipment to work out for that, so I'm like on a coffee table, and oftentimes I'll sit on the ground and do my planning, like from the coffee table. Sitting on a couch and then leaning over the coffee table has really messed up my back, so I'll sit on the ground most times to do my planning, but that's kind of what my filming setup looks like. I would show you, but it is a complete mess in here. So that's what I've got. And that is 22 questions. So I don't know how long this video took, but I had a fun time filming it, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. I hope some of these answers were useful to you in your own like social media planner pursuits, like as it relates to Etsy shops and YouTube channels and Instagram and whatnot. I'm hoping to do another one of these videos maybe like 6 months from now. This might be like a twice a year kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see how this works out. But I'm gonna call it a night on that one. You can see it like getting gradually darker outside, and that means that I know it's time to go to work pretty soon. So I'm gonna call it a video on this one. And it feels weird for me to like say my little like closing spiel when I'm sitting here on camera in front of you. Like, if you like this video, hit that like button down below, like whatnot. So I'm just gonna wish you a good day, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks for all the questions, everyone.